Hello everyone, my name is Misha Kadyrkaev and I play Igor on The Search, and you are watching BTS, Behind the Search.
So Igor, Alright, Misha. I get the characters confused sometimes when we're on camera, but Misha, it's good to have you for our first ever Search interview, and you're the first actor to do this, so I'm kind of excited to get it started. And do you have anything to say just off the bat?
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really thankful for this great opportunity that you provided us to, work on some of our passions in life and kind of discover what we want to do, and to work with friends as well. I mean, I've known you for however long back we go,
definitely.
Elementary
school.
Fourth grade was it?
Yeah, fourth grade.
Wow,
yeah.
I always get that confused with third grade, but it's a great time. It's a fun time. Love everything about it. So thank you for having me. Yeah. I'm excited that I'm the first.
Yeah. So my first question is just in general, like, how has your experience been so far on The Search, and I guess how did it all start for you? Like, obviously, you came in at season 2, episode 1.
Igor, what happened?
I had no control. Jalen hacked the system. I promise I won't let it happen again.
I just wanted to get your initial thoughts on, what were your feelings like? How was that initial shoot, and in general?
Yeah, actually, many people don't know this about me personally, but Swag does send out the lines beforehand, so we have time to review them. But my personal acting style is really much get to set and kind of rip the lines as we're doing it. And just like this interview, I was not expecting that question, but I should have come prepared. But that's what The Search is all about. It really brings out the natural acting. And when I first saw season 1, I was impressed, but I was more, looking forward to that's terrible. Yeah. But I saw the potential of the show, what it could turn into. I saw the initial ideas, but there were just so many paths that we could take. And I guess with every episode, with every minute, it gets better and better. And I think, for me personally, starting off, it was terrible. It was, I mean, you were there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there was definitely some backlash coming in terms of your acting skills in that first episode.
Oh, for sure. I was definitely a raw talent, something to be polished, I guess. But it's also like, the scene just took so long to take because I would just laugh. And I mean, I think like the first 10-second scene that we did took maybe like half an hour of me just walking in.
I remember.
I've already tripled.
Okay.
I've already tripled security. Okay, sorry.
Sometimes I feel like
Tom, you never told me what happened. We're going through.
Jalen, bruh.
I've worked you for a very long time.
Oh man, but it was a lot of pressure. I think season 1 was good. Season 2 was even better. And I think just living up to the expectations of what your vision, as well as our assistant director, as well as the cast, you do the majority of the work, I would say. But I think another cool part of The Search is that the actors themselves, as they play their character, they're able to, wing some stuff, make some stuff up, kind of adjust how they feel that their character would act within the moment,
Yeah, I mean, I would arguably say that some people, like you, of course, since you've been acting as Igor for so long, that you honestly probably know the character a little more than I do in certain aspects. Which brings me to my next question. What was it like playing Igor, and would you say there are any similarities and differences between Misha and Igor, as people?
Wow, I always thought you were a great director, but you're also a great interviewer. These questions really hit home for me. I thought it was a difficult task for me because Igor's character was something that I had to grow into as a person. I feel like in real life, I'm a bit more bubbly, a bit
yeah,
more
100%.
outgoing, you know, but Igor is this very stoic, very straightforward, to the point type of guy. But I think with time, you kind of get to see a little bit more of his emotions, which I do think he not only grows from my acting abilities as I act more, the more emotions I'm able to express, but also as a character, you kind of get to see him break down in different situations. You get to see little glimpses of what his life is like, and you know, and how different aspects of situations kind of affect where he's at emotionally. But I think with me and Igor, I definitely do think that he's someone who believes that he's doing the right things for the right reasons, even though it's not always a good thing.
What am I doing, Kelly?
Yeah, no, it's very hard for me to describe because I don't know. I don't see a lot of surface level similarities between me and Igor in terms of how we present ourselves.
Yeah.
But if you do look past the onion, if you peel the onion, for all my Shrek lovers out there, if you peel the onion,
Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
then you get to kind of see more similarities between me and Igor and kind of our beliefs and what we see.
Yeah, no, that's a great response. And so this is an episode that's going to be releasing after season 3, episode 1. So everyone's going to be done watching the show and watching everything that happened with your character. And I know that Igor specifically, like in this episode, has played a significant role. Like, how do you think that's impacted your acting abilities? Because I do know that, like, you know, Igor has gone through a lot of different angles in this episode, as opposed to season 2, where it was just glimpses of, you know, Igor, but not really digging into his character.
So I'm allowed to talk about season 3.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was so scared that I was spoiling something. My previous statements were without like knowing that I could talk about it. Okay, just like The Search, everything is kind of... Oh, that's another cool fun fact if the crowd doesn't know, but our lines and our roles and our scenes are kind of set separately per person to only compartmentalize those people knowing what they're doing. So even when new episodes get released, the other cast members don't actually know what's going on, which is a cool aspect.
Yeah.
So I was kind of scared there. You see, I didn't want to get in trouble.
No, of course.
I don't want to get fined for like, what is it, $100,000 for like spoiling a scene or something like that.
So, something like that.
Yeah. But yeah. So as you can see in season 2, I think Igor is a lot more stoic, a lot less emotional. Maybe there are some moments where he acts up, but going back to the flashback, we kind of got to see what Igor was like before all this happened. You know, how love can change a person, how much confidence he had, how he was, I don't want to say the most outgoing person, but he seemed like he was a pretty social guy. And then that event of just seeing someone you care so deeply about just taken away from you, it changes a person.
Yeah.
And I think after that event, Igor lost himself a little bit and didn't really come back to having those deep emotions until he kind of saw Jalen and Sinwoo's connection and what happened there, and that kind of triggered his event, you know?
That's what you always say. Business. Sinwoo is more than just a liability for Jalen. He was a close friend. You knew that, and you still went after him. You didn't think he would react like this?
I think I said previously, like, he thought he was doing things for the right reasons, when in reality there may be some emotional turbulence within, you know? So I'm not really sure how he will react in the future. No spoilers, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really want to get into that, but you definitely do get to see just small glimpses of how his past affects his current life.
Yeah. And then going upon, you know, just knowing that this episode is already released, are you excited to see, like, the audience's reaction on everything that's happened with Igor's backstory? And, like, what do you think they're gonna... Are you anticipating anything?
I mean, I think the crowd's gonna lose it. I'm not gonna lie. I think the cast, the audience, I think everyone's gonna... You know, Igor has had backlash from both in acting and I think from a director's perspective. I don't know how much you've experienced it, reading everything on Twitter and Reddit, what they say about Igor. And I'm not saying that stuff affects me, but I see it. I see it, you know? Every little, you know? But, I forgot what I was saying.
This is just in terms of, like, what do you think the audience is gonna...
Oh! I think they're gonna absolutely love it. I think it adds a lot of depth to Igor's character, as well as kind of introduce something new that hasn't been seen before.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, like having a love on in the show kind of adds layers and kind of a new angle of emotions, of plot that hasn't been explored before, as well as like kind of, you know, adding a deeper connection through, we know what Jalen and Sinwoo was, best friends, but there's also lovers, you know? It kind of adds a different aspect then.
I want you to have this bracelet, so no matter what, how you're feeling, where you are, you know that I'm always with you.
Alright, Mr. Yeah, so I mean, basically, like, if my storage on my phone died, so we had to cut the clip twice, so now we're doing this again. But just kind of jumping right into it.
Same question.
What was it like working with 2 new cast members? Because, you know, obviously, like, you knew them from outside of the search, and now you've seen them on the screen as well. So just kind of gauging your relationship with them, both on and off screen.
You know, I've said it once. I've said it twice.
Yep.
Working with Maddie, playing Kelly, it was really easy. She's someone who's very outgoing, very bubbly, very smart, very fun to be around in real life.
Yeah, I'm part of MIT Nature and Wildlife. I'm always here for you. Please don't tell me you're Igor Vladimir.
We actually work together, we're really close, and I think her and I on screen, even behind the screen, it was behind the scenes. Behind the search. But it was very easy. It was very free flowing. I think we bounced well off each other. For many of you who don't know, we actually did get kicked out of the store. We weren't really acting too much there. But I don't know. I feel like she's someone who just kind of came in. Sure, she had to act, but that character kind of represented so much of who she is as a person that it just came very natural with her. Not taken away from her hard work and from her skill, but I mean, it was crazy. The first few scenes that I shot with her, I was pretty much in shock because of how, like, if you described Kelly as a character with your eyes closed and then open your eyes and just saw her acting, that's literally Kelly. As for Nick, I mean, it can't be overstated. Not how much I doubted him, but how much he kind of came out of the blue. Cause like, this guy, he's my current roommate, and yeah, we proposed the idea. We showed him the show. He was kind of a later addition, and he was so into it. Acting with him, I was very easy to see how passionate he was for the show and for getting his lines right, the scenes, the atmosphere, everything. It's like, he would hit a perfect take, and then he'd look over at us and be like, hey, did I do it correctly? Is there anything you need me to change? What about this? What about that? And there were times where, like, dude, like, you killed the scene and he just wants more. And I don't know, working with people like that on set is just, it's kind of magical, and it pushes me as well. Yeah, it makes my life easier knowing that we have people like that around us. Actually, for how impactful the scene of post Kelly's death was, that was actually a pretty difficult scene to film due to us actually having a live audience.
Yeah.
Because Maddie had a bunch of roommates and a bunch of her friends over, and they were just kind of watching us act this out. So it was definitely peak performance of us trying to not only provide for the camera, but provide for a live audience. So that was a great experience. I think that helped improve our acting, both. I mean, I don't know.
I completely agree with that. I mean, I've never been in a situation where there was a live audience yet on the search, so that was kind of, it was a new experience, and it was fun. But yeah, that was perfectly said from you. And just jumping back to Igor, If you could describe Igor in one word, what would it be and why?
Man, you just love asking these tough questions. It really get me thinking.
Lots of words out there.
And I can only choose one, you know?
Yeah.
I would have to use the word righteous.
Mm.
I'm not sure about the exact definition of it,
Right.
but I think earlier in this interview I said he's someone who believes he's doing the right thing, whether it's for the wrong reasons. And there's plenty of righteous people in the world who think they're doing good, but could actually be harming people.
Right.
And I think he really does mean well, but he has issues aligning himself with what ideologies he truly wants to support. But he's someone who believes in himself, he believes in others, he wants to be doing good, even if it's for the wrong reasons, you know?
You never know who you can trust in this business. But I can hack into the security footage and get it to you so we can figure this out.
And then if you didn't know the story of Igor going forward, like what would you predict or kind of expect? I guess what would the audience expect if they were kind of predicting what would happen next for Igor?
You know, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because...
And I mean, to be completely transparent, it's not like you don't know what happens next, right?
Oh yeah, I have no idea. I was trying to play that off, but
so it's like if you didn't know, like since you don't know, it's like what do you expect, or what do you kind of see Igor going towards in the future?
You know, that's actually a very interesting point, because I feel like there's maybe just you, maybe just Connor that really might know what's ahead of us, but that's what makes this story so great. Right. But based off of my own interpretations, based off of what I've seen in social media, in the news, like,
right.
You know, it's just gigantic.
So many
like
fan theories out
it's
there,
like no, it's almost like the metaverse. It's truly packed, but I think there's a lot of directions that he could choose. I don't want to say I will say it. I think he might be developing into a loose cannon. I think from what we've seen in episode 1 of season 3 that I think he may be starting to realize some of the stuff that he's been doing, even though he's trying to protect himself, is hurting others. And eventually you either let that consume you or you overcome it, you know? Right. So I truly don't know which way he'll go, but seeing his backstory, seeing what has happened in season 2, and kind of seeing his reaction within season 3, episode 1, he could go in a lot of directions, and you're the only one who knows. But I hope he does what his heart desires.
Right.
Because if I were him, that's what I'd want to do.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And then the last question, just for shits and giggles, we did kind of touch on season 2, episode 3, that Igor really loves his snacks.
You got any snacks, man?
Not at the moment.
You gotta get that arranged.
So we're just wondering, like since you know Igor the best, like what is his favorite snack and
my goodness.
And why?
You know, I won't say snack. I will say a combination. And if you're true Igor supporters, you know this too. But it would have to be some green tea with some cheese curls.
Oh yeah, that's
good. The green tea's an essential, and then the cheese curls are just like, you know, it's not sour, it's sweet and savory, sweet and salty a little bit. And when you put a few cheese curls in your mouth and you water it down, oh my, dude, that hits different. It just like, it makes me so happy. So Igor definitely is stacked with the Costco-sized pack of green tea, and the Utz cheese curls are definitely the ones he UTZ. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but no, he definitely always has a few large bags of that laying around, and that was actually one of the things that he requested from Amog when he was signing up to do this job, and that's actually why he was checking the fridge to see there were any cold
there was
drinks.
any-
He definitely said alongside with his computer and security systems that he needed that was kind of essential.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, it was great speaking with you. Obviously, our first interview, both from my side and from your side. This was awesome, and I'm excited to see what's to come in the future.
Yeah, it was an absolute blast. Thank you for having me, and I hope the audience loved the first episode of season 3 and continues to follow us. You know, we really do it all for you guys. You know, so thank you for being such a great director, great actor. Thank you for the cast. Thank you to my family. You know, thank you to all my friends and supporters, and yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for making Igor come to life.
Oh, stop it. Stop.